Hello and welcome as we are ending the 26th day of November 2017. At least it's 11:23 p.m. Eastern time on my end as I'm recording this video. Welcome, everything you do within your own risk, own reward. Let's take a look at Litecoin. First crossed with Bitcoin and then against the United States fiat currency. Current price action for Litecoin currently in at 00947. It's short term in a breakout stage. I'll talk about that as well. Multiple time frames. I love talking about looking at every different bit of information. And well, anyway, within this daily chart after the decline, stage 1 band flatten out, stage 2 establish resistance, and then about a week or two even supporting in this band, breaking out over the weekend. The session on Sunday, decent sized red candle. Normally a small area of concern, but one, it's holding and staying above this resistance. Two, a lot of that's a matter of the Bitcoin breaking its major resistance level and having like a 7 or whatever % up day it had. That's a big reason. Okay then, that's why we're going to show the US dollar chart near the end. You can also see a cup and handle formation in place, which is the same as the breakout of the established resistance. And a cup and handle formation is having a successful higher low from an area and then coming back to that point. It has resisted it short term and well came back and coming towards this level. I don't like the chances too much that the 1% handle of Litecoin to Bitcoin is going to be resistance, expecting it to even come closer to a 2% handle. I think long term this thing could break the 10% handle or gain better than 10 times from where it stands, which is a reason I am very aggressive within my accumulation phase to within such. Oh, that was easy. Furthermore, you can even make a case of a weird looking inverted head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder here, right, or the head and the right shoulder, but resistance was also established for that same area in October as well. But the big level of support at about the 1% Bitcoin mark, which was supported in the months of May and June, also supported in August, but very quickly and briefly, failed in support over a month back or around a month back, was resisted to where the neckline area is. While it's now barely supporting this 18 average, it looks to me as if I'll soon be talking about a failed breakdown, fast move to the upside. See, if this is supposed to resist like it's supposed to, what I'm expecting is it to break down like this for a leg, come back to where it came from, then break lower. So this is coming back to where it came from in the second week of November, starting to come back, but hey, wait a second here. This 18 average is holding well and breaking above it. It's showing as if it doesn't want to break down, that it wants to put this bullish momentum forward, which would show that pattern of the failed move, which would give good reason for continuation of great gains to follow. Let's talk about a double bottom formation, and I want to show such on a probably even a 10 or 15 minute time frame. A double bottom is a W, double V, or a pair of something I'm not going to describe too much. And when you break this neckline in here, then that's a break. You're now in business. So it's in business now. It's short term within this current level here, retraced a little bit. I'm going to talk about a little secret that I like to use to try to accumulate really cheap, and I was buying this at 91. First thing is I was noticing that it was holding well within over the last little while in here, and it was starting to break out. So let's take a look at this on a 1 minute time frame to show you a little more clearly. It was when the price action got up to 0.00917 in here. So it had just broken through Now on a smaller exchange that has less participants in it, I noticed I was able to buy it up at a very small amount at 910 handle and a bit more at the 911 handle. So I bought them roughly around, well, in here. I moved them about 2 or 3 minutes later, and then I received them where I sent them to somewhere in here, because it's lightning fast, these transfers of Litecoin. I think it's a very, very good coin for what it's trying to do, and that is become what a form of transfer of payment ledger system is and such. I think it's much better than Bitcoin. And yet when I take a look at this over the long term, well, through the year, it's basically at the lower end of this sideways range that it has developed, the very bottom of it, because it's got this failed breakdown as I'm looking at it. I don't think this is going to be a resistance level and fall lower. I mean, it could, but I don't think it will. And that's why I'm taking an aggressive shot myself. I've accumulated more. I had a goal for the amount of Litecoin that I wanted to get. I have surpassed that goal, and I don't mind accumulating more if situations arise. Let's quickly look at this on a weekly time frame and then move this over to the US dollar. So here we have a situation in which, priced in Bitcoin, this level of resistance was a match to this level. So far, it's important to make sure it holds and stays above where? I mean, I guess it would have been this level of resistance in here. So it's done that so far. You can say, oh, it looks so bearish because of the move that's resisting in here. And maybe, but I don't think that's going to be a case. I think this is going to work out to a good risk-reward investment that I can take, I don't know, 20% of the profits that I've made my entire run and then give it a shot in this. That's what's so beautiful about this Bitcoin gain. Myself personally, I've got well over a dozen times the amount of Bitcoin portfolio gain, meaning my net value in Bitcoin is, well, closer to 15 times higher from when it started. And I want that number to grow much higher, and I think Litecoin can help me do such. Let's take a look at this against the US dollar now. And we'll start off with the long-term weekly time frame. And this was one interesting sideways correction. And then one interesting breakout. And what has been an interesting consolidation of that breakout, because the sideways move was from like summer of 2015 after it broke out and held this rally for, oh, the better part of almost 2 years. And how it's been correcting within this 18 average is just so magnificent. So here's that situation where you've come up to this resistance, spent about a few months, about a dozen or so weeks within this 18 average, and now it has just recently broke out. Am I supposed to expect there's going to be resistance? Maybe. But just by looking at this, what needs to be done, it needs to hold and stay above 70, that key level of resistance. So 2 periods to break it out. As long as that's the case, as long as it stays above it, I'm just going to keep saying it looks like a good bullish situation. I think it's a good buy. I'm going to most likely be saying I'm buying more, accumulating more, because I think this is going to go bonkers when it breaks this resistance. Bonkers 4, 5, 6, 700. Cliff high in the web bots information that has been given out has been nothing but spectacular. And he's been saying a lot of good things about this coin as well. And I do see this technically coming into a nice breakout spot. Now, if you look at this on a daily term time frame, here's a situation of, first we have this resistance in at about 57, breaks above it, comes back to its range, but it establishes a higher resistance range between 60 and 68. And then a little bit here at about 70. So this little level point here around 70 to me, I think is very important. And just one quick little thing here too. If you look at the daily chart on this trading view on, say, BITTREX exchange, you're going to get these weird white pierces. That'll be fixed if you use like the BitFinex one. So let me put that one in instead. And it looks more trading view. But we can see here this level of resistance has now been supported in here. So this overall range of about 65 to 73 is extremely important to hold, more so at around the 70 handle. But that's if we're going to resist and come back. Because if you are to bet that it's up too much, it's going to come back to this area and I can just get a good deal, because if I sell, say, 72 Litecoin here, I can buy about 100 back here for the same price. And if you're right, congratulations, you get about a couple dozen for free. I do plays like that with different coins all the time at different spots. But I'm not selling too aggressively here, because I have seen many times that the situation here is either just going to be a grinding sideways, maybe hold 85 to 100, then boom, up it goes larger, or it just will find very little resistance, and then when it breaks it, I always say the same thing as far as when you're looking to bet on strength, you want to find an area of key resistance that corrected for a decent time and it for barely to break it to buy on strength. So if you're gonna, I'm going to tell you right now, if you see Litecoin around 110, 120 bucks and it's a pretty much new price, if it's a good time to buy, oh hell yeah, it's a good time to buy. I think it's been great for a while. And my whole play in trying to increase Bitcoin is thinking or knowing that if this breaks resistance, that targets of 3, 4, 5, 600 are most certainly in place. It's most likely going to get to a better price against Bitcoin. And when it becomes on a high overvalued scale, then I'm going to want to liquidate out more so at that point, which will mean taking my Litecoin from my hardware wallet, moving it over to an exchange to sell to another coin. I don't know what coins that would be, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever else, and then moving those coins back to that same hardware wallet. That's what I am planning on doing. And that will be that. So thank you for tuning in to another bonus longer video. And I will be back on Monday with more crypto trading videos. And maybe even, I haven't even checked silver for today. But I'm going to guess it's not really worth talking about, other than bringing a video up saying, oh, by the way, silver is not worth talking about because it's good to buy, but its gains will come much, much later on. Probably, I mean, look at this. It's just staying in the sideways range. Look at how this band is just crunching in, and it's already crunched. That's a major indecision point that's going to have to pop at one time or another. But unfortunately, any type of pop will just move it to the upper or lower end of this more longer term range. What are we on? Daily, let's go weekly. Which would mean a pop up towards like 18 to like into the 19s, which keeps it in that range, or a pop lower down to like, I don't know, maybe 16. Either way, it's fun to accumulate because it's cheaper and buy on Bitcoin prices, but I'm looking for the ratio to get closer to 1,000 to 1 on Bitcoin and higher to even be a much larger buyer in physical silver. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day.